Did the Jehovah's Witnesses top lawyer just say that Jehovah lied? I know that sounds shocking, even blasphemous. But tonight, we are going to walk through something extraordinary. A story so deep, so ironic, so spiritually unsettling that it will challenge everything you thought you knew about the divine truth. Now, this is not a joke. Philip Brumley, the long-time legal counsel for the Jehovah's Witnesses, was held personally responsible by a U.S. federal court for giving false information under oath. The cost? Over $150,000. But the spiritual cost, that's what we need to talk about. Now, before we dive into the controversy, we need to get to know the man behind the headlines. You see, Philip Brumley isn't just another attorney. In the July 2025 Watchtower Study Edition, he shares his life story entitled, "The Battle Belongs to Jehovah." Born to missionary parents, born in the truth, Brumley was destined for faithful service. But here is where things become cautious. In 1982, he was assigned to Bethel, and by 1985, despite the Watchtower's firm opposition against higher education, the organization sponsored him through law school. Yes, you heard it right. The religion that warned young people against college sent Brumley to become a licensed attorney. Just imagine, the Watchtower has stood on the tower announcing the dangers of higher education. It's been written in publications in time past, reinforced especially by the broadcasting made by Anton Morris.
Back in 2005, the faithful slave provided counsel regarding higher education in the October 1st, 2005 issue of the Watchtower, pages 26 through 31. The article was entitled, "Parents, What Future Do You Want for Your Children?" The cover of the very next issue, October 15th, 2005, asked the question, "What is the best education?" You may have noticed that we've not published that thorough of a discussion on the subject since that time. Why is that? Has the governing body changed its position regarding the pursuit of higher secular education? No. We feel that all of the cautions that we have addressed in the past are still valid.
Other governing board members, like Mark Sanderson, also talked about how he refused a scholarship to go straight into Bethel.
Do you remember that 18-year-old young brother who was trying to decide which path to take? Well, that was me some years ago. I'm so glad that with the help of Jehovah and my parents and other mature friends in the congregation, I made the decision, just like so many other brothers and sisters around the world, to turn down that scholarship, to give up university, and go directly into the full-time service.
Even the infamous Stephen Late also talks about how he went straight from high school into full-time service.
It was truly rewarding.
I am so thankful to Jehovah that positive peer pressure was put on me to enter the pioneer ministry right out of high school. What a blessing and a protection it was to enter the regular pioneer work at age 17 and to be able to go to Bethel at 18. Even though there was considerable worldly pressure put on me to pursue university education, I am so happy that with Jehovah's help, I decided to build my future with Jehovah.
If this video is resonating with you, kindly do me a favor. Like, subscribe, and smash the notice bell so that when I upload the next part of this video, you receive a notification. Higher education has been labeled as dangerous.
The cost of obtaining university training is not our primary concern. It is the potential for spiritual harm that has moved us to provide the cautions we have shared in the past. Having said that, it does not change the fact that all too often our young people have met with spiritual disaster, especially after leaving home and living on a university campus. If we are in continued association with those who do not believe the same, it can erode our thinking and convictions. It is one thing to work on a job with others and quite another matter to immerse oneself in an institution of learning. I have long said, the better the university, the greater the danger. The most intelligent and eloquent professors will be trying to reshape the thinking of your child, and their influence can be tremendous.
When the Jehovah's Witnesses need the knowledge and skills that higher education offers, Brumley is sponsored.
Speaking of lawyers, we have an interesting perspective from Brother Philip Brumley of the legal department. Let's go to our Patterson studio and listen to an interview of him conducted by Brother David Schaefer, a helper to the teaching committee.
Thank you very much, Brother Morris. And we're delighted to have with us Brother Philip Brumley, overseer of the legal department. He's been a full-time servant for the past 41 years, and for the last 28 years has been overseer of the legal department. Brother Brumley, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us today. I know you have a very busy schedule.
My pleasure.
How did it come about that you came to work in the legal department?
So I was working in the carpenter shop one day, and I got a telephone call from Brother Charles Steele. The governing body asked Brother Steele who could go through law school to become an attorney. The organization needed a few attorneys to help defend the rights of Jehovah's Witnesses. So Brother Steele asked me, or basically gave me the assignment, we want you to become a lawyer.
So the organization made a decision to send you through law school.
In one of the interviews that was done by David Schaefer, Brumley even tried to paint the higher education as dark, something that can take over you and begin to control you. He claims it took his wife, both in that interview and in the start edition of the Watchtower, July 2025, that it took the wife to remind him and to reveal to him that he had changed. He had picked up pride, self-importance. Here is a clip.
So the organization made a decision to send you through law school. What effect did that have on you?
Something happened that I was not prepared for. When a person goes to law school, the instructors, law professors, essentially tell the class, you're the hope of humanity. You happen to have been born in the best country in this planet, and you happen to be among the few in this country who have the circumstances to be able to attend law school. You are the future presidents, governors, senators, judges. But not only that, you're also the future social activists, the ones who are going to protect the disenfranchised, the poor, the one who needs their rights protected. If you do well, civilization will do well. If you do poorly, humanity may not survive. Now that may sound like a grandiose statement, but when you hear that repeated over a 4-year period, it can start creeping into your mind. Another thing that happened related to that was there's a fierce spirit of competition in law school. And I brought with me the notion of this is a Bethel assignment, so I want to do well. Not just well, but very well. And David, in the first year, I scored rather poorly. And that shocked me. I thought I have to do better than this. A deep spirit of competition came into my being, where I would devote whatever time was required to do well. And in one sense, it worked, because when I graduated cum laude, which means in the top 10% of the class. But both the spirit of competition and the thought that somehow you were special because you had this training had marked my personality.
So how did you come to discern that this kind of thinking was rubbing off on you?
In all candor, David, I didn't discern. It wasn't until after I had gotten out of law school that my wife Elizabeth sat me down one day and in so many words told me, "You're not the man I married." And I was taken aback. What do you mean? She pointed out the character flaws that had developed in me, ambition, egotism, selfishness, combativeness, being argumentative. And the more I listened to her, the more I realized she's absolutely right, that I had allowed these defects to creep into my personality. The next thing was what to do about it. And it's not like going into a dark room and flipping on the light.
By 1986, he was already appointed head of the legal department. Very young. Here's what Brumley says in the article. 3 years later, I was invited to become a licensed attorney. But look at what Anton Morris says in that broadcast against higher education. We will not need lawyers and doctors in the new world, but we will need carpenters, plumbers, and electricians. Here is the clip.
In addition to promoting divine education, what secular skills will we be promoting? Skills that will be useful to God's organization now and after Armageddon. For example, we need construction skills around the world right now. And think about this. We will not need doctors or lawyers after Armageddon, but we will need carpenters and plumbers and similar construction trades. It requires faith to decline higher education and have the confidence that our material needs will be cared for by training in other fields of employment.
Now, the Watchtower paints Brumley as a saint, a legal warrior of faith. He talks about praying before going into every court case, about divine interventions in courtrooms, about winning because Jehovah fights for us. He doesn't just defend doctrines. He links legal success directly to Jehovah.
Receive no residual effects then from the training?
We have to keep working on these things. You always have to assess motivation. A sister who's serving here at the Bethel family, who also has several degrees to her name, said it well when she said, "I'm still working to get the venom of self-importance out of my mind." So I work very hard, David, to make sure that humility is not a front, but it's from my bones. It's really what I am on the inside. When the scripture says doing nothing out of contentiousness, but looking at others as being superior to you, that's the attitude to have. And then, candidly, you give Jehovah something to bless. When we obtain a legal victory or a development happens that's favorable to Jehovah's Witnesses, all thanks go to Jehovah, because in the years that I've been serving in the legal department, I can assure you that it is not because of the expertise of those of us who happen to have this privilege of service. Rather, it's because there's a spiritual motivation to our work, to where we work hard and then see what Jehovah wants to do with the matter. And time and again, David, we've seen Jehovah's hand in our work. And when something favorable happens, rather than in any way thinking, well, that was because I did such a good job, the genuine reality of it is that Jehovah did a good job. This was what Jehovah wanted to have happen, and that's why we were successful.
His words. Why did we win? Because the battle belongs to God. Let that sink in. Here is a clip.
We have personally witnessed that strength and victory do not come from our own abilities. As David said, Jehovah is a strength for his people. Psalm 28:8. Indeed, the battle belongs to Jehovah.
Every court victory equals Jehovah's victory. That's what he says. That's what millions believe. But then came Montana, a child abuse case. And if you have enjoyed this video, kindly do me a favor, like, subscribe, and smash the notice bell so that when I upload another video, you receive a notification. If you want to contribute to this discussion, kindly do so in the comments below. Questions or clarifications are also welcome, including criticisms. And if you think that this video will be of benefit to another person, kindly share with him or her. You can share with as many people as you want. To watch part 2 of this episode, click on this link.